Hello there, listeners. Welcome to the Bullpen Podcast. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to quickly talk about Buzzsprout. So, over the years, myself and Jamie have worked incredibly hard and refined the Bullpen Podcast into the stylish cultural phenomenon that it is today. But none of this would have been possible without Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout as a platform allows us to upload our finished work and host it on major services such as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes and more. Simply put, without Buzzsprout, we would not have reached as many ears as we have. Once you sign up to Buzzsprout, you immediately get access to several hours worth of upload allowance a month, as well as an easy to navigate website and analytical data of every aspect of your podcast and all its listeners. If you sign up using our link in the podcast description, you'll find information on how to sign up and grab a $25 Amazon voucher courtesy of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest way to get your podcast off the ground. Join over 100,000 podcasters getting their voices heard and sign up using our link today.
Just let you go. There we go. It is recording. So,
Yeah, we're all good to go. Right.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to The Bullpen, a podcast about baseball and all things involved in the fine sport we've grown to love.
Yes.
I'm one of the hosts, David Dring. Across from me, like some kind of job interview, is my fellow host, Mr. Jamie Ramage.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm alive.
You're alive,
Yes.
that's good. So you're good.
It's a good start.
You've come dressed as
Captain America.
kind of Marvel. I think it's Batman. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I am the Ben Affleck of this podcast.
Yeah, you're the Michael Keaton of this world?
Yeah. The George Clooney.
Oh. Great film. We're joined by a special guest, good friend of mine, Mr. Tom Boltby. How are you doing?
I'm good. Okay, thank you. Thank
Sat
you.
alongside me, interviewing Mr. Ramage for a spot on this podcast.
Yes.
Interviewing for your own job.
Yes. That's happened to me before, so
No, it's not.
it's all good.
So we made it to episode 2. What do you think
Yes.
about that?
It's amazing. I mean, thank you to the 4 listeners. I'd like to thank my mum. Yeah, she.
I'd like to thank your mum as well.
Yeah, for not listening. Because that would just be wrong.
So one thing we don't want to do is fall into second season syndrome with this.
Yes.
Oh, second season already.
Yeah.
We're flying ahead with this. We're going to do better than last episode, I think.
We might get some names right this week.
We've learned a lesson, I think.
Yeah.
So a lot's happened.
Yes.
A lot's happened in the last week or so.
Because you don't have more than a day off in this business.
We don't. With football, you can sort of one game a week. It's easy.
And then
easy to manage.
Yeah. And then when you support something that's not very good, you get international break off.
Wouldn't know. Wouldn't know.
Yeah.
We won today, by the way. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody here that supports the team that starts with N1 today. So
Did Newport win?
Yes, Newport, Isle of Wight.
Right, so let's get down to it. So let's talk about you, Mr. Boltby, first of all.
Okay, you must.
A Giants fan.
For my sins, yes.
Do you want to talk about why and how?
Why? The first time I actually saw the Giants was just off the cuff, really. I tuned in and they were on. And one of the things that struck me the most was one of the pitchers at the time was Tim Lincecum.
Mm.
I think he was nicknamed the Freak, purely and simply because of his throwing action.
Mm.
He looked like the ball was going nowhere near where his arm was.
Yeah, I've seen
And
he
always tend to hit it on target. I was like, this guy looks pretty weird, but I like him.
Mm.
And obviously that coupled with where the stadium is on the edge of the bay was just like, yeah, I like this team.
So how long ago would that be, do you reckon?
Probably 5-6 years now. I followed them. Prior to that, I've always had a soft spot for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Always had a soft spot for the Yankees for whatever reason. I don't quite know why. It's just the traditional pinstripe.
I think what I found with that is it's because I think we spoke about this off the podcast where you think of a sport and there's always iconic teams.
There is, yeah. You ask any Tom, Dick and Harry, name a baseball team, they're going to pick either the Yankees or the Red Sox. It's just one of those.
Your big teams. And they're not, well, they're a great team.
They are a great team.
They're a really great team.
Not in these same sort of domination as they once were.
No,
They have.
I think around the time, I think we pulled up a couple of facts, didn't we? And I got an article from it a few years ago. And I think it mentioned that they won. I mean, this is how good we are. We haven't researched any of this yet again. Lesson learned.
Why do research? When
They won a couple of World Series, didn't they? In like a 5-year stint a couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
do seem to be one of those there or thereabouts kind
They
of
are,
teams.
yeah. But, I mean, they have some very, very good players on their books now. You look at Giancarlo Stanton, I think he's homered in all of his games so far.
We talked
Most
about
of them, most
that,
of
didn't
them
we?
so far.
Stan, I think I mentioned Stan in the first
You've got
episode.
Gary Sanchez, I think Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton.
Gary Sanchez, that's the ultimate.
The ultimate.
We've got Hispanic character, what should we call him?
Gary Sanchez.
Don't use your real name.
Well, it could be in witness protection. You never know.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary Sanchez. And, well, the ultimate name you missed off, Madison Bumgarner.
Bumgarner.
Mad Bum.
Yes.
One of the finest names in MLB.
The maddest of all the bums.
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy guy. So, I don't know off the top of my head how well they're doing this season. Mr. Ramage has got the facts and the figures.
I have, yeah. They're third in the conference. 3 wins, 3 losses. So
And they're with, let's have a quick look at this, the Padres, Dodgers, Rockies and Diamondbacks.
yeah,
The Diamondbacks are on a bit of a roll at the minute, I think.
Do seem to be, yeah.
6-1, I believe.
Yeah, 6-1.
6-1, bloody hell.
Yeah,
Dodgers are having a bit of a wobble.
they are.
Are they-
They've lost 5 so far this season.
I think 1 and 5, 2 and 5.
They've lost 2 and 5.
Jesus.
So it's early days, though, isn't it?
It's one of those teams, I think you mentioned like the big teams in that sport. Dodgers, I'd put up
Dodgers as well. Yeah.
Everyone's heard of the Dodgers. Everyone's heard of the Dodgers.
The old Brooklyn Dodgers.
But it's like, how much of it's, you hear about them all the time, how much is it, are they actually a good team?
Yeah.
Are they an Arsenal? Or, are they a Leeds?
Because they're,
Best times are well behind them.
I guess you kind of pick up on them, like American sort of pop culture, don't you, through films and stuff, and you have like the teams kind of pop up every so often.
We've spoke about best baseball movies. You said one that isn't good at all.
There's nothing wrong with a good old Tom Hanks movie.
Well, that's true.
And it's got Madonna in as well, and Gina Davis.
I would have said Field of Dreams for me.
Yeah.
That gets me in a good mood.
Yeah. Not even that bloke's best. But,
Supposed to be the movie guy.
yeah. Well, you know stuff about that.
I don't.
No. Yeah, Bull Durham is probably Kevin Costner's best
I think you did mention that, didn't you?
baseball film. Yeah.
I do like Moneyball. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Which one's that one?
Is it Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt.
Pitt, yeah. Trying to
Oh, yeah.
Based on the book.
Oh,
explain the
okay.
numbers behind the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good film, actually.
He might be floating around on Netflix somewhere.
I
One of those.
More than likely.
Could be, yeah.
All right, then. So let's get right down to the biggest news stories of this week.
Yes.
I'll lead off with a good story, nice, happy story. The Cubs, Chicago Cubs, their mascot. Now, we need to learn mascots' names, first of all.
Yeah.
We also need to learn what the mascots are.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah.
The
Astros one with the
Which
ears. One? The Astros mascot. He's got like horns for ears.
That.
Yeah. It's weird.
You know more than me already.
Yeah.
You've lost me as well.
Yeah, so the mascot for the Cubs, Clark the Cub.
Clark.
That's his name. He's running a fundraiser on May the 6th, that's next month, I think. It's a 5k run. It's called Race to Wrigley. It's the 12th time they've done it, or I suppose 12th time he's done it. I don't know if it's the same guy in the costume. If it is, then fair play to him. That's a charity run for let's have a look here. It benefits the Advocate Children's Hospital. It's a nice, happy story.
Always a good cause.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Charity run, you can't beat that.
I did mention a couple of other charities. I think the Cubs players can sort of nominate charities they want to benefit. I think they're donating heaps of cash themselves as well. Obviously, they earn quite a bit between, don't they?
Yep.
But he's doing that 5k run. Best of luck to him, I suppose. We'll keep an eye on that. That's next month sometime.
Right, what else have we got here? There was another Cub story I pulled up as well somewhere. Does help to put this in order. Yes, that was it. So, a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Marcus Lemonis? Don't know the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Lebanese-born American businessman, TV personality, CEO of a couple of companies, and the star of The Profit, CNBC show about saving small businesses. He put a tweet out that just says nominate a teacher. So people said quote tweet his tweet or reply just pick a teacher, and the winner, and say why you want to nominate him, and the winner will win 4 tickets and parking to the opening day of the Cubs, which I think is May the 8th, Teacher Appreciation Night.
Cool.
Whatever that is.
Well,
Sounds good though.
To be fair, it sounds like something that I would quite appreciate.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that if I was a teacher.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then what the Cubs did, because obviously it's this for the Cubs, they got onto the tweet and said, okay, you do that, and then pick a second winner, and we'll throw in 4 tickets to the American Airlines 1914 Club. I probably should have Googled what that is. I'm assuming it's a pretty fancy, swanky event.
Yeah.
Which is happening on the same day. So
Okay.
they've clubbed together a millionaire guy and a very, very billionaire franchise club, whatever you want to call it, clumping together for a good cause.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, I've got a couple of good happy stories there. Anything you want to add in there? Anything you want to...
Should I go for some not so positive news?
Go for it, why not?
Okay.
You be the bad cop.
Yeah. So Michael Chavis, I think his name is, has been suspended for 80 games under baseball's minor league drug program for testing for a performance-enhancing substance.
Do we know what that is? I know what a performance enhancement drug is. A specific one, I meant.
Just to be clear.
Something makes you faster.
It is something that would get you a very high score on Scrabble, is what it is. Apparently it's some sort of steroid that's used by many East German athletes, apparently.
All right.
But no longer sold commercially. It's just too long to pronounce.
Now you're going to try?
No.
Let's have a look.
It's that.
Might as well give it a go, haven't we?
Yeah,
That one.
Dihydrochlormethyltestosterone.
Yeah. Okay.
not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I
Not
hear
bad.
it does good things.
Well, not for him.
Not for him, no.
What does it say?
So-
Punishment.
80 game ban, which
Half a season, I think.
Yeah, half a season.
yeah. Well,
News
when you
just
think that other kind of sports have kind of harsh penalties on sort of any performance enhancing kind of thing, that to me doesn't sound.
Well, we spoke about Maria Sharapova, the tennis player.
Yeah.
She got done for this a few years ago.
Yeah.
Can't remember the punishment. It was a couple of years
Yeah.
that she was just
Maria Sharapova,
Yeah, banned off.
She was
banned off the circuit.
basically hung out to dry.
Yeah.
And I think she was offered a lifeline, wasn't she, by, I want to say, it might have been Wimbledon.
Okay.
They gave her a wild card seed
Yeah, I think that's
based
correct,
on just her popularity, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think a few players kicked up and said, well, we've actually played games this season.
Yeah.
And she's cheated.
Was she taking it due to her asthma or something? I'm
Yeah,
not sure. That's
that
what it
was.
was. Yeah,
An
it's
asthma medication.
Asthma medication, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad substance, but
You should
So
know
there's
better.
a-
Can't remember if she...
Looking accusingly at me. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's I mean, I just take it recreationally.
So it's not a party drug.
It's all good.
What was it? Dwayne Chambers as well,
Okay.
the athlete. He got
Yeah.
done for... I don't think he's...
Was it him?
I can't remember.
Justin Gatlin.
Was Gatlin as well?
To be fair, I've lost count of how many times he's been banned, to be honest.
I mean, athletics must be one of the biggest for it. I think.
Absolutely
cycling.
right.
Yeah,
Lance.
road cycling.
Yeah, yeah.
Lance.
Yeah.
And even Sir Bradley has been.
Has he? Oh, missed
Well,
that.
I don't think he's been accused of.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
the Jiffy Bag Gate
Yes.
sort of incident a couple of years back, where doctors they smuggled in a Jiffy bag containing no one knows what. So yeah, it's all a bit of a up in the air at the minute. No, but it's
Yeah,
rife.
It was just a
rife
bag
in
of catnip
sports.
at the end of it.
It was a DVD, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yeah.
They didn't want anyone to see it.
One of
They
the
were just purely embarrassed.
one of the greatest films where Paul is the first name of the title.
Yeah, can't think of any others.
Well, Paul and Paul.
Ah, well. Paul's a great film, actually, to be fair.
So it's in the top 3.
And that's a great segue onto my next point.
Okay.
Paul de Jong.
Okay.
Paul de Jong.
He is a batter for the Cardinals. This is just based on the other night. He hit 2 home runs versus the Mets a couple of days ago. And then, so I looked at a couple of stats on this guy, because I've heard of this guy before. On March the 5th this year, he signed a 6-year contract extension worth $26 million. It's the largest agreement with a player who had not completed at least 1 full year of MLB service. So, it must be pretty good.
They're putting a lot of faith into it.
And it's like the Cardinals as well. They're not one of those teams that you think, well, they're one of the big top bracket teams. It's shelling out ridiculous amounts of money for one player, an unproven player.
Yeah, exactly.
Given a go early on.
Well, I think it's happening more in football now. I read the gossip column a lot on BBC Sport, and there's always some random 18-year-old teenager from Brazil, and then Man U, and then some figure in between £30 million.
Yeah.
And it's just like it must. I don't know if it's the truth. I don't know if it's just like
It's crazy.
they have this random article generator,
Yeah.
and they throw in Man United, and then
Somebody's name.
someone's name, Brazil, and then
X-year contract.
an X amount million.
Press the button.
Yeah. And then Man United want to buy fucking John Sanchez from
John De Silva.
Gary Sanchez from Corinthians for £30 million, 5-year deal. It's like I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
He's
He's
tearing
18.
up Brazil.
Yeah, he's 18.
And at the end of the day, it's Nathan Arnold, is he? So,
He's not.
No.
He's not Nathan Arnold. And we must thank him for that.
Yes. One of the few footballers to actually delay the 10 o'clock news.
How
Nathan
come?
Arnold. Lincoln had a FA Cup game that went on into extra time. He scored the winner, and they were interviewing him, and then the 10 o'clock news was a bit late. Just for Nathan Arnold.
Put that on your
Nathan
CV.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Put that on your CV.
Delay the news.
Yes.
Achievements. Delaying the time.
Right, let's get back to it. Right. I think I'm all out of good news.
Good news.
I think from here on I'm just going to depress you.
Oh, that's good.
Bad news, Brown.
Well, there's a couple of, this kind of ties in with each other really, winning streaks this season.
Okay.
Now, I put these down a couple of days ago, they might have updated. At the time of me writing it though, the Blue Jays were on a 4-in-a-row winning streak.
Yeah. They,
I think they might have lost 1 or 2
'cause
since.
according to my data, they're on a 1-game winning streak.
So they'll blip and then back to it, I guess.
Yeah.
What makes that interesting is the teams they've played in that winning streak.
Okay.
The Yankees,
Yeah.
they've made a right mess of in that series.
Yes. So they're ahead of them in their conference.
Couple of big wins as well in that series against them. And I think, well, we looked earlier on, they're playing now the Yankees and they're losing again against the Orioles, I believe it is.
Yes. Baltimore's
It's
finest.
3-3 actually in that game.
Oh, they pulled it
Top
back
of the
then, haven't
6th, yeah.
they? Did we actually decide on what an Oriole was? Are we just saying it's some kind of...
It's a baseball franchise.
Ah, well. You push your boat out with that one, don't you?
I'm just going to sit on this fence. It's the
You're
fence.
sitting on your mound, are you?
Yes.
You're sitting on your Snodgrass muff.
Yes.
On the topic of streaks, Boston are actually on a 6-game win streak as of now.
Yeah, that's... I had,
Losing their first game.
Off the
It's-
opener, yeah.
I had that down. Currently it was 5 when I wrote it down, so yeah.
I think it's only the second time that they've done that in the history. I did have the stat, but it's... If you want it, it's on Twitter somewhere.
Go and find it yourself.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be 7 as well. I mean, we've got the game up in a minute.
We have. Let's have a quick
gander at the old score. I think it was 8-2.
It's 8-2 still.
8-2.
Middle of the 6th. Sorry, 5th.
Ah, so yes, a couple of uneventful winnings.
1-6 Rays playing the 6-1 Red Sox. Sorry. So
Tampa Bay Rays.
That's the thing with baseball. I mean, you could, in terms of my team, the San Francisco Giants, they lost to the Mariners. I think they lost like 4-0, and the day after they won 10-1.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how anybody can literally be anybody in baseball.
So, more baseball stats I hear you shout up from the rafters. I'll give you some.
Go on then. If you have to.
One particular player for the Texas Rangers, a guy called, he's an Hispanic chap, so it might be Adrian, but it's spelled Adrian. So Adrian Beltre, probably butchered that. He has tied Rod Carew as all-time hits leader by a Latin American with 3,053 career hits.
Nice.
That's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hits.
That's almost as many as ABBA. They're
quite a few hits.
They're in tens of millions at this point.
They had quite a few hits.
Yeah, that's a bloody lot of hits. I mean, I don't know what the average is per season. I mean, what do you think? 160 odd games. You're not going to play all games, are you, as a batter?
No.
Let's say you hit at least one in every game you play. So let's say 100 per season if you're a particularly good player. I'm just being showed Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac.
Yeah. There you go. There's another baseball film for you. Just to interrupt things.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's all right.
It's not bad.
It's overrated.
Yes,
5.5 on IMDb.
so I don't know if you want to do the maths on this for me, Mr. Ramage.
I can't do maths.
3,000 career hits. I don't know how old he is either.
He's 39.
Wow.
Adrian Beltre is 39.
Have you got his Wikipedia up there?
39. No, I'm on just on the app called AtBat. I just thought I'd download that.
This podcast is sponsored by AtBat.
Quick plug there.
Please give us money.
Yes. Anybody that makes pizzas as well, that would be much.
You did say this. Now, not Papa John's.
Yes,
because
they're the official pizza of the MLB.
I don't want to speak for everyone either. I don't know if you've tried it yet.
I've never actually had a Papa John's, so I can't comment.
There's one in the old town that we live in,
just down the road from
Super Bowl, I believe.
Just down the road from David's penthouse.
Yeah, near my gaff.
Yeah.
So I went to that once. I didn't go to one in the States. I went to the one in Mansfield, and it was cold pizza. I mean,
it's just not the hut, is it?
It's not the hut, and that would be my go-to.
Yes,
that would be. I think they're
the boys.
The meaty crusts are just to die for. Although Domino's aren't bad.
Yeah,
the Domino's chicken.
Well, they do fall over after a bit.
I see what you've done there.
Yeah, I went there, and you're not taking it back.
Have you got a particular pizza?
I'm a Domino's guy, I must admit.
Domino's guy.
I do like a Pizza Hut. I think Domino's, for the money you pay, they are nice, but they are far too much money. But they are nice. I must admit, I've never actually had a Papa John's, like you say. So
I mean,
I cannot comment, but I've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd already heard bad things before I had mine, and then I don't know if mine was just like a bad batch. It was like they got all these because it was new, so they might have got like new chefs in or something.
Yeah, could be. Or how about the Ultimate Greggs?
Greggs, they make some good pizzas, don't they?
They do, yeah. A Newcastle-based firm as well.
Yeah. All the pie firms seem to be in the north of England.
Yes. Surprisingly.
Poker Pies.
Yes.
They're probably based in Widnes or something. Warrington.
Yeah. Your garage.
My garage, I wish. Imagine going to your garage full of pies.
Yeah.
So Adrian Beltre, going back to the
we
initial topic.
baseball.
Did you want to find out what is?
Just how many he gets per season, really?
I can bring up MLB career stats.
Yeah.
His average is .287.
Sorry.
Just bring up the Pucky Pies Wikipedia.
It's in Leicester.
Leicester.
Answer that question.
Yeah. Not too far from home, actually.
No?
So yeah,
I might go and visit.
Yeah.
So his MLB career stats, his average is .287, 462 home runs, 1,644 RBIs, 120 stolen bases, and .821 OPS. I actually forgot what that stands for.
So have I.
I did have all the
yeah.
abbreviations. Not.
OPS.
Well, going back on what was his average? 287.
0.287.
As a 39-year-old that's probably played for the last 20 years.
Not bad. Well, you'd like to say 20 years. Let's be honest.
On base plus slugging, was that a thing?
OPS.
Yeah.
On base plus slugging. No idea. We'll put that to the listeners if anyone can actually let us know what the hell that means.
So it's a statistic calculated as the sum of a player's on-base percentage and slugging average. The ability of a player to both get on base and hit for power.
So 0.821 is not that bad.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
So I'm going to go with it being quite high. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a really good average.
So for
287
for a 39-year-old, like you say, who's been playing probably 20 years to keep that sort of consistency, so to speak, is not bad.
And I don't know if he's a bit of a journeyman or if he's always been at the Rangers. If he's one of these
He's
types.
been playing since 1998.
So yeah, 20 years. 20, is that professional?
Yeah, in the MLB. He started in
Jesus.
98 with Los Angeles. I assume. Were they the Angels back then?
Might be the there's two different teams, isn't there? So yeah, Angels maybe.
18 runs in his first year, then 84 in his second. So big jump up, and he's kind of stayed around.
He's a steady guy.
He's a steady. I mean, 2004 season, 104 runs. Not bad at all.
Very impressed with that. If he's listening, because I assume he is.
Everybody.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you. Hope you're playing long after your
Shout
20th.
out to Adrian Beltran.
Yep, shout out. If you want to sponsor this podcast, let me know.
Yes.
You know who I am. I'll get you Papa John's as well if you fancy a pizza. Yeah, that was so 3,050. That's a bloody lot of hits. So that's I can't even comprehend that figure.
One guy who's older than that who's still playing, I think, is Ichiro Suzuki.
I've heard this
Does
as
he
well.
play for
Yeah,
is it the Mariners? I'm tempted to say.
that's one to Google.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, I'll move on to another.
Don't forget we are sponsored by Ask Jeeves. Don't forget.
No, it's just Ask, isn't it now?
It's just Ask.
Ask.
Yeah, Jeeves is dead.
Yeah. We asked him what happened to Jeeves.
Ichiro Suzuki. There we go. I believe he's 41.
That's not bad for a sports
Sorry,
guy, is it?
I'm corrected. 44.
Still kicking as well.
4 years of age. So his MLB career stats is .311.
That's ridiculous.
117 home runs, 780 RBIs, 509 stolen bases, and .7.
So I wonder if he's one of those sort of. He's not a. Because the stats are wildly different to Beltran's. He's been playing for longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if particular batters have different,
And he only started in 2001.
different game plans. I guess like you don't have a team full of sluggers, are you? You want
No. I guess you need somebody who can just get the ball out.
maybe someone that's going to get himself onto a base first of all,
Yeah.
and he's faster around the bases than say if you've got someone that's probably twice his weight or something that can hit a ball for a mile. But it needs to really shift.
Somebody who can bunt and shift it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
handy player to have.
Yeah.
Well, in his first 8 years, he scored over 100 plus runs in each season, from 2001
Outrageous.
to 2008.
Outrageous. Big shout out to
Shout
Suzuki
out
there.
to Ichiro. Again, if you're listening,
Yeah,
hit us up.
get on the old Twitter. Give us a plug. Give us a retweet.
Absolutely.
No, you want to. So more stats, you ask? Because I've got tons, baby.
Go for it.
I'll move on. Now this one is about the Braves. Atlanta Braves. We mentioned off mic that they're just smashing runs for fun.
Mm-hmm.
First couple of games.
Just a few.
So I've got two sort of stats back to back. So the first one is they got 41 runs in the first 5 games, which is the most since 2006 when they got 42.
Yeah. They're now on 56.
Yes, they are. Which is so they got 15 runs in their next game.
Yeah.
In between that, so obviously 56.
Yeah.
That's tied with the 2008 Atlanta team as most runs in a 5-game stretch in their franchise history. So pretty recent, actually.
start, yeah.
I expected like 50 years ago. But they do seem to be one of these,
Relatively recent,
one of these teams that just seem to score a ton of runs.
Yeah.
I mean, 56. That was after 6 games.
Nice.
That's phenomenal.
That is some doing. Yankees have took the lead against the Orioles. 4-3, bottom of the 6th.
Come back is on.
Disgraceful.
So I don't know how Atlanta. I'm assuming they're pretty high up in their division, are they? The Atlanta Braves.
The Braves, let's have a look. They are second in their conference behind the Mets, who've only actually lost 1 game.
Good teams in that league, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have before the league. I would have probably said Marlins as a there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're at the bottom, aren't they?
2 and 5,
bottom,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
3-game losing streak.
Never listen to me.
No. And we kind of did like the Nationals kind of Twitter ability. Whether they can play baseball or not is another matter. Yeah, their shout out to their Twitter team, the old Curly Whirlies.
The what?
Because they've got a curly W, haven't they? For
Oh, right.
so I'm just using a British snack-based product.
Curly Whirlies, yeah. Shouts to
Cadbury's.
Do they still do them?
Yeah.
Early Whirlies, yeah.
I've not seen them for
they do.
years.
Yeah. That is the chair, by the way, if you can hear it.
It's not your creaky brass hand.
No.
It's lubricating.
It's just a very squeaky chair.
Did any of you see the at bat by Bryce Harper? I can't remember who he was batting against, but he was walking up to the plate, and just as he was about to face the pitch, a guy from the crowd just shouted at him, "Overrated."
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the pitch came in and it's out the park.
Oh.
Just think to yourself, if ever there's a way,
Yeah.
you know,
He's got 4 home runs so far this year
politely
as well.
to politely give them the middle finger, that is the way.
Just got a shout. I mean, that's it's karma, isn't it?
It is calm, absolutely, and it's it's so good to watch.
I have retweeted that, so I could probably retweet that and give that a plug.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Give that guy a good old plug. He's not overrated at all. He's rated just fine.
Shout
At
out
the
to
top
Bryce
of the
Harper.
National League home runs.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good guy there.
Tied with Charlie Blackmon with the Colorado team, I do believe.
The Colorado Rockies.
Yes. Who are second in their conference?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if you want to talk about our own.
Our own side.
4 people and 4 home runs at the moment, I think.
Yeah, because then
Yeah,
there's the
there's-
American League as well.
Yeah. that's right.
Brian Dazier and Matt Davidson.
Yep.
There you go.
Shout outs to them. Four home runs in 6-7 games. That's it's good form.
It's
Good form.
It's all right.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I've done better myself.
So, I mean, we're talking home runs. There's a fellow for the Astros called Josh Reddick.
Okay.
I don't know if you've got any of his stats pulled up immediately, but I'll press on. So I forget who they played previous to the Padres, but he tweeted, Josh Reddick, and all this tweet said was, "I will get a hit. I will get a hit. I will get a hit. I will get a hit."
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, he steps up. What does he do? Grand slam.
Well, there you go.
Phenomenal player from the sounds of it. And well, just the Astros in general. I mean, reigning world champs, World Series champions. Just one. I would have, even before the season, I would have said favourites for at least the World Series this season again. But as fate would have it, my team, the mighty Padres,
Yes.
played the first game of that season.
You were so optimistic at the start of the
Oh,
season.
don't,
You're like,
don't.
yes, they're going to smash this. They've had a great pre-season. And how are they doing?
Well, I don't want to go into stats. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy.
No.
They're not doing well. 2 for 6.
Yeah, they won 2 games.
Yeah, beat the Brewers once upon a time. No, it wasn't the Brewers. It was the Rockies in 2 games series, and then we beat the Astros first game of that series pretty comfortably, actually. I believe it was 4-1.
Cool.
And just a brilliant win.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't win 160 games, can you? So,
Well, I mean, we've lost 6, so it's going to be 1-5-6, I'm afraid.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll settle for that.
Okay.
I'll settle for. I just want them to do well. I just want them to Because it just seemed to be they got swept in the first series against the Brewers, who I didn't even consider as a decent team at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just thought they were that team from basketball.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Bears. But I mean, well, are they top of their league, second in their league?
The Brewers are second.
Well, we have to consider that
Behind the Pirates.
4 of their wins were against the Padres.
Yeah, and they've lost 3 of their other games and not 1 then. So it's just, yeah.
I mean,
Padres.
well, yeah, I give them credit where it's due. They swept us comfortably. But beating the Astros, I mean, it's like you get hammered in one series,
Absolutely, yeah.
and then you play the reigning champs and beat them pretty comfortably.
Quite comfortably, yeah.
That was a bit like Norwich back in the day. Just a plug for my football team there.
Yeah,
Who the season that Blackburn won the league.
95.
95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I want to say 9. Yeah, around there.
94, 95. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Blackburn won the league and Norwich beat them twice and got relegated. so it can happen to the best of
What
them.
was their team? Was that Mark Robbins in that team back then?
I think Robbins might have left by then, and Chris Sutton had already gone as well to Blackburn.
Blackburn to form the SAS.
Yeah, I think we just about had Darren Eady.
What was the other chap? I don't know if he actually played for him. Paul Lambert. Did he play for him, or did he just manage
He
it?
just managed them.
he just
managed
And when he was the manager, he could never remember his name. There's some blokes managing us at the moment.
He did well.
Yeah, he got us from League One right back up into the Premier League, kept us there, and then Chris Heaton took us back down again
Yeah.
because he can.
Shouts to Chris Ewan he's doing a fine job in
Doing a good job with Brighton.
Yeah.
I mean, limited funds, I'm assuming.
They're owned by a bloke who runs like a gambling website or something, so they're comfortable.
I suppose what the Amex as well. That's a big sponsorship, isn't it?
Yeah,
The credit card
American
company or
Express,
whatever it is. Yeah.
American Express.
Yeah. So, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've got more money than I thought.
Yeah, well, they're comfortable. Let's put it that way.
I just don't hear about them ever splashing out like massive.
No, they spent some money on a striker.
I think they actually broke their transfer record twice in the summer, or the January transfer window just
About
gone.
15 million.
Something like 15 million, which, let's be honest, in this climate gets you nothing.
When they were on the
for
verge of
Brighton.
bankruptcy not that long ago, really.
Yeah.
And old Norman Cook saved them.
Oh yeah,
His,
the Fatboy Slim.
Yes. It is,
They did like a charity, not a charity event, like a.
he sponsored the shirt, the skin shirt,
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, must be something else I'm thinking about then.
possibly.
Good on Fatboy Slim. Just seems like a nice guy, actually.
He is, yeah. He's a man.
Just seems like just a top boy.
Yes. You don't get many other people called Norman.
I'd take a sponsorship off Fatboy Slim right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, well,
If you are listening, Norman,
Yeah, your band needs it, doesn't it?
if you want to put together a little jingle for the start of the podcast that we can use royalty free.
Who is the person that has done our jingle? I think you need to give him a shout out.
It will come to me. I'll get googling that right now. I remember for the end of the.
Do you want to talk about something baseball while we look at stuff?
yeah. I'll bring you a quick update on the scores while I'm here.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of this sport. There's games on all the time.
Yankees are 5-3 up now, bottom of the sixth,
Gee, that's a comeback and a half, that is.
with runners on 1 and 3. The Mets and Nationals 2-2, top of the seventh, again with runners on 1 and 3. 8-2 to the Red Sox against the Rays.
Still 8-2 of them.
Quite comfortable for them. Tigers are 2-0 up against the White Sox. Runners on 1 and 2. Mariners 3 up against the Twins. And the Diamondbacks continuing on their winning streak at the moment. They are 2-1 up at the moment.
So I don't know if I prefer, because like in football you get 3 o'clock kickoff, so they all start at the same time.
Yeah.
Whereas in obviously America it's a bigger country, you have to factor in time zones and
Time
stuff.
zones and stuff. Yeah.
So it staggers.
Your boys start like
The early kickoff is gone midnight for me.
Just when
whereas
you need to be going to
the
sleep.
Boston Red Sox
Yeah.
kicked off about 2 hours ago.
Yes. And they're still in like the third inning.
Yes, still first half.
Yeah. Although I did start for a Red Sox game the other day, and that went on until 20 to 4 in the morning.
Jesus.
Because that was one of their extra innings games of the week. Because obviously you just can't get enough of the Red Sox. So
Absolutely.
So you need more innings.
More Red Sox, yeah. You run out of Red Sox.
Yeah.
They're all in the wash.
Yeah. You always lose one.
Just need more Red Sox.
Yeah, all you've got is bloody White Sox, and
Yeah.
you don't want to wear those, are you?
No,
You don't want to look a fool in the playground.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, and then again, if you mix a White Sock and a Red Sock, you get a pink sock, and nobody wants that. do
Well,
they?
I would. I'd love a pink sock.
Pink sock.
Yeah, I'd take a pink sock right now.
Yeah. They would have to be in like a central division, wouldn't they? The Pink Sox.
I don't know. I reckon if we got a couple of guys together,
West-
form a team, Pink
yeah.
Sox,
Yeah.
Mansfield Pink Sox.
Yeah, excellent.
The Pinkston Pink Sox.
Oh,
There you go.
that's a cracking team, that is.
Yeah,
I'm making the Twitter handle as we speak. Not having anyone steal that. I've got the name of the guy, by the way, who does our little jingle. It's bensound.com.
Okay.
And I think I recall it's all royalty free. I think the only instruction he gave was just
Give him a
plug him in
shout
there.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there you go.
We have done.
www.bensound.com. There's page after page of royalty free. All kinds of stuff. We went through a couple, didn't we?
Yeah.
We sold on a jazzy number.
Definitely the best of the lot.
Well, yeah, I like it. Well, there's poppy stuff like R&B, rock, just any music you need.
Yes.
License free. Don't want to pay through the nose.
Bluegrass.
Why would you want to?
Well, you don't want to pay for music, do you?
Exactly not.
When it's free from considerate boys like Ben.Sound,
Unless-
whatever his last name is.
Unless, of course, Spotify want to sponsor us.
Now I'd love that.
Yes.
I think we're still waiting on Spotify hosting our stuff.
Yes. So hopefully one day that will happen.
Yeah,
In the not too near future.
yeah. I don't know what the time frame is
No.
on how many episodes you need to have as well.
I think when I looked at it the other day, they don't tell you if you're successful.
No, they don't. They just say updates will be here when we get them. They don't actually let you know.
Give you a time frame.
And it's been a week, hasn't
It
it?
has. Yeah,
So-
near enough.
We'll have to see. I'll just keep uploading them, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's through a website called buzzsprout.com
Yes.
for all your podcasting needs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free to sign up. I think you can pay for certain features, so we get a 2-hour limit, which I'm very tempted to increase if we're doing one a week.
Yeah.
And then it only saves them for a set time, whereas if you upgrade, then it's on there for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
What you want.
shout out to them, being just a gracious host.
Yes.
The host with the most,
Yes.
as they might say. As was I would say.
Well,
It's my catchphrase, you're not having
copyrighted.
it.
It's never been used before. Never will be used.
Well, I don't want it to be used from now.
Just keep it in the shed.
What else have we got to talk about? All right, so the Cardinals and the Brewers. This was a game in the week, I believe. I want to say Wednesday. That's just a complete guess. It was definitely in the week, though.
You have any
Correct.
guesses, Dave?
Cardinals and Brewers was on Wednesday.
And the particular game it was the first game in MLB history to start and finish with back-to-back home runs.
Nice.
How's that for the stats?
Start of the week.
Rolling them stat of the last 10 minutes.
And
More stats of
stats.
a high quality.
Everybody loves a
Caliber.
baseball stat.
What have I got for you this time? I want to talk about the Padres more because why wouldn't I? So
Go for it.
their first win of the season it was against the Rockies. And I want to talk about one guy. I forget his first name. Villanueva is a rookie for the Padres. My team of scientists are on Googling duty right now. I feel like QI,
I'm actually on the roster.
The elves.
the QI elves. Like I say some bullshit, and then a team of experts back up what I've just
And
said.
then suddenly Sandy Toxvica's got something to say.
Christian Villanueva.
Christian Villanueva. So he's a rookie for the Padres.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
26.
Well, rookie in the sense that I don't know what exactly
That's
that means.
another baseball film, The Rookie.
Ah.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
So I'll raise that against the listeners. Explain exactly what a rookie is to the three of us, unless one of us knows.
It's something that you get from Blackpool or Brighton.
Great. Yeah, so he was. Yeah, so the first win of the season is Rocky's 8-4. I even put in brackets first win of the season. Didn't put a smiley face. I'm not that kind of guy. Even though I was smiling inside. He is only. So he got 3 home runs in that game.
He did.
He is only the second Padre rookie to homer in homer 3 times in one game. So yeah, Christian Villanueva, top boy.
Yeah.
Playing well this season as well, actually. I've seen his stats. It does seem to be a team. I mean, I've said this like a broken record. A team in transition. So a lot of new faces. I'm trying to find a sports team equivalent that have just all of a sudden just upheaved their tiring squad and just got new faces in, and then try to sort of cope.
Portsmouth.
Yeah, I guess Sunderland are going to have to do that.
Well, it's season after season, aren't they? Well,
Yeah.
maybe. Well, sort
Just
of.
like to say it couldn't happen to a nicer club.
Oh, did they lose in the end today? Was it a 1-1?
Actually, a 1-1 draw with Leeds. I think
Part of me wants them not to go down again because I miss the derbies.
I don't miss the derbies.
I mean, I want to beat them again because it's been a while. Is it 6 in a row now?
6 in a row.
Jesus.
They keep bleating on about 6 in a row.
But I mean, if it's a cup game, that'd be special.
I've never actually been to a time-wear derby.
Well, I mean, we're not season ticket holders, are we?
No,
So
we're not. So
we'd never
to
get
manage
the
to get a
option.
ticket, it's like gold dust. But
I've
yeah, they didn't
seen
win
both
today.
teams, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy at work. He's a lifelong Man U fan, but he supported them when they were shit in the 80s.
Yeah.
One of those, and he's not a season ticket holder. He's a member, so he.
Priority ticket.
Yes, well, I think
Yeah,
he has the
yes.
option.
He does, yeah.
So he joins like a mailing list, and then they'll say tickets for this game are available. So you can't choose your own seat, but you can have that first refusal of if you want to
I
buy
think
tickets.
it goes season ticket holders, then members, and then general sale.
And I guess as a Man U fan, I mean, it must be nigh impossible to get tickets for any of those games.
Probably not so much nowadays.
No?
Because, I think ever since Ferguson left, I mean, it's gone a bit downhill since then. They've never been the same powerhouse as never been the same sort of powerhouse as it was back in the...
No. And again, like you say, it couldn't have to a nicer team.
Absolutely.
A team that has been spoon-fed success for years,
Correct.
not winning game after game anymore.
I agree.
What are we watching here then, Jamie?
Watching
Visual comedy.
a player being attacked by a bald eagle.
Bald eagle.
Do you know the player's name?
The player's name is, if you just give me a second.
You did mention it earlier, actually.
I
as well.
did.
Didn't write it down. Like the cocky man you are.
James Paxton of the
Brewers?
The team. I've lost the thing now.
I'm going all out and saying he's a Brewers player.
You reckon? He's a Mariner.
Close.
Yeah.
You say Brewer?
Yep.
Milwaukee and Seattle?
Yeah.
Not that far away.
I mean, we're getting to grips with the team names, all, aren't we? Still.
Yeah.
We're getting there, I think.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're doing well.
Yes.
We're not getting so many wrong anymore.
No.
You got anything to add before I plunge deeper into Stat City?
How about Jacob? Is it Jacob DeGrom? The Mets pitcher who had the bases loaded the other day with like 1 out and still kind of managed to get out of that. I think that's quite impressive. Because if that was me, I'd just be like, there you go, there's some runs. But he stuck in there, so that's all good.
First game of the season, Padres Brewers, we had that bases loaded, 1 out.
Yeah.
And he just hits it in the one place where he didn't need to hit it anywhere
else,
and he hits it towards the guy on third that needs to run over and get the winning run. So 1 out, bases loaded, 2, 3 outs, next innings out, loss.
game over.
The Newcastle way seems to be the teams I support just seem to just choke.
throw it away. Whereas usually the teams that I support are never in it to start with. So
That's I can say with it when it comes to a different sport, ice hockey. I'm a New York Rangers fan,
yes,
and they haven't won a championship since 1994. So they're
Oh,
on a bit of a barren spell at the minute.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What are the good teams in American ice hockey? If we're talking, I wouldn't actually know any.
the Bruins.
The Bruins are not bad.
Oh,
The
Penguins? Are they,
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
The Washington. What's their name? Oh God, that's eluded me. That's not professional.
Well, if you're going to be professional, you can get out.
Until that kind of stuff. Absolutely
Nonsense.
Absolutely. You've got
Detroit.
Detroit Red Wings are not as
Good as
they're
they
not
used to
the powerhouse they used to be when they had Nicholas Lidstrom and Henrik Zetterberg in their lineup. They were a force. They were they were a big force. But it's the same with baseball. Really, you have them
Cycles.
them cycles of teams where you wouldn't expect a team to win the championship, and then the next season, a bit like the Cubs a couple of years back, they hadn't won it since, was it 1908 or something ridiculous like that, and it can happen in ice hockey as well. It's one of those sports like baseball as well. Like you say, they have cycles.
Does seem like it's a fun watch
It is.
as a spectator.
It is a very, very fun watch.
I actually remember. I think I was actually in Canada last year, and it must have been around the time. Was it the Stanley Cup? Was that the big old
Cup? That's
big old?
the oldest trophy in the world.
I think that was. It would have been around. I want to say May, June. If that's ringing any bells for you, is that normally when it's held?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
And that's where I remember the Penguins being in there. That's.
I think the Penguins. I remember now. It's the Washington Capitals.
Mm.
That's the name. I think they would have played Pittsburgh. I think played St. Louis. I might be wrong.
It's always a sport
Yeah,
I've
it is a
aimed to learn more. I mean, it looks like one I'd enjoy. I've been once to an actual game. We have the luck of being a
Nottingham.
really good team.
Sheffield.
Yeah, the Steelers.
Who are actually playing Nottingham Panthers this weekend in finals weekend.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
It's a good little day out. I mean, wrap it warm.
It is a very, very good sport. Very good sport to get into.
I'm a field hockey man,
Yeah, you play, don't you? So
Yeah. so it is weird, but there you go.
Just seem like I mean, if you're good at it, why not?
Exactly.
Now you've got a little feature you want to talk about here.
Have I?
I want to get in this quick before I forget.
Have I?
Do you want to talk about your balls first of all? Yeah.
Okay.
I know you've been itching to tell me.
He has already got them out for us as well.
Yeah, that isn't as bad as it sounds.
So what you've done, you've presented a standard size baseball
Yeah,
with
with
the
the covers on.
Yep.
So that's kind of, I guess that's made of two pieces of leather with kind of a red stitching.
Mhm.
And it's not very spherical. It's like them dog chews that you get. The kind of the.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
So yeah, so it's kind of like a
Great
a
analogy.
real life dog chew,
Yeah.
and that it's not round, and it's heavier.
Yeah, it's deceptively heavy as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to, you
Yeah,
held on before.
There you go. Have a feel. Cough a feel. And what I've also got is a cricket ball.
Because we do intertwine these two sports, don't we?
Do, yeah. I guess analogy wise, they're the two closest in terms of
Major sports, I
major
guess.
sports
Yeah.
and kind of stats as well. I mean, a typical 2020 game is the same length as a baseball game. So, but this is one of three standard colours of a cricket ball these days. It's a red one.
The old classic.
You can also get it in white, like a baseball, or you can get it in pink these days.
That's right, yeah.
For day-night games. So a basic cricket ball is made up of. It's got like a cork and twine inner, and then you've got 4 pieces of leather that are sewn together, and then in the middle you've got the seam, which is quite a bit more bigger than the baseball.
It goes right down the middle as well, as opposed to
Yeah.
like sort of round like a
So
bit like a tennis ball, sort of like.
It's very similar.
No, the
sort
tennis ball's kind of. I don't.
Yes.
It's not stitched together. It's like
the felt is put on the outside
Yeah.
of the rubber. So that is more spherical. And I guess you kind of do the same things with a baseball. Although you kind of hold it differently depending on what type of person you are.
So you're speaking from experience, Mr. Howard. You're a cricketer yourself.
Yes.
So, I mean, size-wise, what are we talking? The same size?
The baseball's a bit bigger.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit bigger, isn't it?
One
Yes.
similarity they do have, they both hurt if they hit you.
Oh, yeah.
I have been hit right between the eyes with a cricket ball, and I can tell you from experience, it does hurt.
I would not enjoy that at all.
My glasses luckily took more of the brunt, but yeah, it's good. And I've been hit by a hockey ball in the face as well. So
You're in the wrong business.
yes. So I'm quite scared now that I've said them things, that I haven't been hit in the face with a baseball,
No.
which David is now holding.
Yeah.
Point blank range.
Weight-wise, have you got the figures on hand?
I haven't got the figures on hand. No.
I mean, do you want to?
They weigh.
I would say. I mean, I don't know. It's.
I want to say a cricket ball weighs 5.5 ounces.
Cricket ball for me feels heavier than a baseball, but I might be wrong.
Should we ask them? Ask cricket ball.
It's hard to distinguish it.
So
See, now doing that, it makes me feel like the baseball's heavier.
yeah, 5.5 ounces for a cricket ball.
Okay. Now, the suspense is killing me.
Ball weight.
Not very much. Judging by
Same for Christmas.
I can only breathe and do something at the same time.
You carrying, you getting one of these square to the jaw.
Oh, 5.25 ounces.
And what was the cricket ball?
5.5.
It's close, then, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very close.
So that's
Red Sox are now 10-2 up
nice.
against the Rays.
They tend to win comfortably these days.
They do, yeah. So they lost the first game of the season, and now they're on a
7-game
bit of
run.
a streak.
Unless a massive capitulation, it's
Yes.
a 7-game run.
We're not watching the Padres, mate.
5-3.
Do we want to discuss sort of like season predictions? Not for the full thing, just for our own teams. So, I mean, we'll stick to Boston. What do you reckon?
I reckon they're going to win a pennant. That's as far as I'm going to go. They're going to be there or thereabouts.
I would have said that.
Yeah.
I probably would have said that before the season
Yeah.
anyway, and they just seem to be steamrolling everyone they play.
Should be top 2 of their conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are in a division with the Yankees, Orioles, Devil Rays, and Blue Jays. Now, see, that's a tough league, though, because
It is.
the Blue Jays are playing. I mean, I didn't have them down as a particularly good team. They're pretty damn good this season. It's like I say, sweeping or almost sweeping the Yankees. Then again, the Yankees, you never know.
No.
Sleeping giant, or they just sort of the slow
They are
start.
one of those teams you can never predict.
So it's tough. I mean, we'll keep season predictions for another episode.
Yeah.
But just for now,
mid part of the season.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably say next week or so, get it in early, so it's a complete prediction.
Stab in the dark.
Yeah,
Yes.
more fun, isn't it, that way?
Yeah.
But I would put my elbow in the bathwater there and say it's the Red Sox will be sort of doing pretty well.
Yes. And how about your lovely bunch?
Lovely Sunday.
Well, I mean, like I just want them to because they.
Just win a game.
Well, not that. It's just I want them to.
Be competitive.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
Stand up and be counted.
get stuck in. I want them to not finish bottom in that division. I want them because I mean, it's a tough division to be in anyway. Dodgers and Giants, Diamondbacks having a good season. So, yeah, I want them to be. I want them to show that this transition's paying off.
Yes.
I don't want them to be. I don't want to be 5 years down the line. We're still a team in transition.
Yeah.
I don't want to lean on that as a crutch.
That's what you don't want.
I figured out who the the comparison is
between.
Sports, the team in transition.
Okay.
Norwich.
Have we got a year?
This year. They got rid of quite a lot of paid players just to kind of balance the books, and then brought in loads of kind of Germans that nobody's ever heard of.
Is that based on the manager German?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was.
So kind of mid-table, sort of not going anywhere.
It's about where they are now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or thereabouts.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a team in transition.
It's a tough league, though.
Sort of no danger of getting relegated, but
No.
also not any
Yeah.
chance of getting the playoffs, which is it's one of them
Yeah, I'd
So
probably.
a
I'd probably
few
go
more
there.
acquisitions and
sort of
possibly start
influx
competing.
sort of team.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the old Giants? Have you watched any games this season yet?
I haven't actually. No, that's very very professional of me as a fan.
I mean, realistically, where would you sort of have them end of the season, or where would you like them to be?
Well, I'd like them to. I mean, they're in a sort of in a tough division, really. They're in with the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, the Dodgers, and the Padres.
Is it inconsistent form as well? They
Well, 3-3, so they
Yeah.
are 500 at the minute. I mean, I would like them to. They have some very, very good players on their team. You've got Johnny Cueto as a pitcher who's fantastic. Got him a couple of seasons ago, I think, from Cincinnati. Buster Posey as a catcher, he's fantastic. You've got Evan Longoria, Brandon Crawford, Pablo Sandoval, Brandon Belt, Andrew McCutcheon, Hunter Pence, who is no relation to Mike Pence. Just call that out.
Shout out to Mike Pence.
Shout out to Mike Pence.
You can't scare him gay. You can't scare him straight even, Mike. You can't do that.
Bryce Harper scored another home run.
Another one. So he will be on his own at the top of the home run
With
leader right
5.
now.
He's
5.
overrated.
Yeah, overrated. 5 runs. Is that it?
Yeah. I think we'll surprise a few teams this season. I think we'll be a dark horse in terms of how far off we'll be. I don't think we'll win it. I don't think we'll win it at all. But I think we'll be not far off.
Yeah.
Not far off.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. Definitely like to think.
Yeah. Well, I hope they do. Hope we all get to the World Series
hope we will,
together.
absolutely.
Hope there's 3 teams in for the first time.
Why not?
Well, I've got some more good news in the old. Well, no, I'll give you a couple more. Well, I've got one more stat. I just want to.
Okay.
Well, it's a bit of a fun one,
And
actually.
then we're going to go on Player Watch.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Because I've got one I want to talk about. A very fun one. Exciting times.
Yes.
So I've got the Mets and the Phillies. They played a game on Wednesday. I wrote the date down this time because it is very interesting.
What was the date?
It was the 4th.
Okay.
So they tried this new thing where they were going to stream the game exclusively to Facebook. So it wasn't available nowhere else, not on MLB.TV, not on your provider, you know, the Mets or Phillies provider.
BT Sport.
Purely Facebook. And what happened? It was delayed due to rain. And so what happened was, obviously with Facebook, you've got the little up-to-date comment or whatever, like people watching it and commenting and stuff.
Literally live.
Just people just really, really happy about the whole situation, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't got a time frame on the delay, but I mean, that's just a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And why just Facebook as well? Like, why not have it as like put it on another platform? I mean, it's crazy to think that as a Mets fan, you can't watch your own team. It's just like,
that is like a kick in the balls, really. Isn't it?
I mean, what if you don't want
Think about
Facebook? What if you haven't got Facebook or, especially with a recent sort of data leak
scandal
thing, yeah,
sort of thing.
because that was around that time this week, and it's
not
like,
too long ago.
and then for them to say, if you haven't got Facebook, make an account, and that's how you can watch the game. No thanks.
Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg,
Oh yeah, what a fine, upstanding man that is.
pillar of society.
If he wants to sponsor this, by the way,
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
Although we have had more shout outs for Twitter. Because
Yeah.
it's the platform.
Twitter is a
Twitter
platform.
is the
yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
So you are wanting to do a player watch. Are you? Do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start because obviously yours is more interesting.
Mine's a fun one.
So, kind of what we're going to do this season is pick out a player and then follow their progress. I've gone for Chad Cool
Nice.
of the
Cool guy.
Sounds, yeah.
of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So yeah, he's a man.
He's a mighty fine man
Yeah.
from the sounds of it.
He is, so he shares the same birthday as me, September the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
He's 11 years younger than me, though. Although, to be fair, you couldn't tell, really, could you, from that photo?
Yeah.
No. So he's from a place called Bear, Delaware.
Nice.
Just for the rhyme, is outstanding. So I don't know much about him. He's played one game so far this year, by the looks of it. An ERA of 6.35,
And he did win that game as well.
and he won the game.
Yeah. He won the game
Yeah,
on his own.
all by himself.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, that's kind of the thing with baseball, isn't it? It's the pitcher that wins the game rather than
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Pitcher
You
gets
could-
credit for winning the game.
So you could hit in like 15 runs, and the pitcher still gets the credit. Yeah. But there you go.
Do they still have people, pitchers who come in and try and save the game at the end?
They do.
They
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Yes,
So
we
there's the same
talked about
stats,
this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we I should pull it up. We know how the Twitter account of a team will put up final score, like Newcastle do it, with they'll
Yeah.
put a picture
Yeah.
up and the score. Like baseball is the same, but they have these little abbreviations and little players' names. And we were trying to figure it out, and there was one for Brad Hand, who was a pitcher for the Padres, or Brass Hand. He was a saving, SV,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we couldn't figure it out, but if that's
Save, yeah.
saves, yeah,
Save.
saving.
Yeah.
Usually coming in these at the last inning
Yeah.
to literally try and save the game, to try and out-pitch them.
Good guy. Good guy. He did his job.
Do they actually get credit for the win, the saver, or is it the pitcher who pitches before, who starts the
I'm
game?
not sure. That's something we might have to
Might have to
throw
look
out.
up on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, or Twitter or whatever. Anyone wants
It's,
to
it's
let us
the only
know.
way that we can tell if anybody's listening when they correct us.
Probably for the best it
That's
isn't.
true.
Yes.
I don't like being wrong. Well, that's just something I have to face.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Very, very.
So that's all
for
I've got to
guys.
say today. I should be playing today, so I'll probably be able to tell you about more of
So that's going to be an ongoing thing, is it?
It will be, yeah.
Chad Cool.
Chad Cool. Because he is the chaddiest and the coolest of the lot.
Now then,
He's actually starting pitcher today against the
Yes.
Reds.
Nice one.
nice. Hope he does well.
Yeah.
Hope you have a really chilled game.
Yes. So you've got the man,
Well,
the legend,
Well, let's not spoil it.
the myth.
Well, so I came up with various names for this.
Yes.
And then as soon as you walked in the door, Tom, you gave me one that was infinitely better than mine. So this feature, I mean, you've got to come up with one for yours.
Okay.
It must be easy.
Yeah.
So we're calling this Trout and About. That's the name of this feature. Weekly feature about, well, who else?
The
Yes.
one and only.
Mike Trout.
Yes.
Shout out to Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, he is a bloody good player. Because we pulled him up, didn't we, on Twitter?
We did.
And he's got, I think it's like 3 million followers.
Yeah.
And I thought that's horrendously high for a sports guy.
He is godlike.
Well, so I got down to business. I mean, I haven't got as much detail as you, but I'll jump on this in the future. I've got one little stat though.
Okay.
He plays for the LA Angels first of all. He is two stats, I guess. He has won in his career so far, which he's only young, 26, I believe he is, 25, 26. 6 All-Star awards already. It's obviously one per season. It's not bad. And then Sports Illustrated, I think this was last year, rated him the number 1 player in baseball.
Excellent.
Pretty high accolade.
Mike Trout. Just, what else can you say?
Exactly.
You'll have to wait till next week and I'll tell you.
Oh, did you not have that thing about that kid that you met? And he was just this kid sees Mike Trout come up to him and he's just like, what? Really? And he was just so taken aback. It was just like meeting David for the first time.
Well, I hope I get to meet Mike Trout one day.
Yeah.
I mean, if I keep
Yeah.
the feature up,
Yes.
he's got to get wind of it eventually.
Yeah. You'd hope so.
I mean, 3 million followers, but
Yeah.
only one that matters is the bullpen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
I do actually have a name for your possible sort of segment for Chad. Cool,
okay.
I'll go for it.
Cool and the gang.
Cool in the
Yes. I think we can do that.
gang. Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Trademark that straight away.
We
Cool
are
and the
the
gang.
We are the gang.
Well, yeah, we are. We are the crazy gang.
Yes.
the crazy gang.
I believe, let's have a look at, I think I'm all out of stats. All I've really got left is, I mean, I got one for the Giants, because I know you're a fan.
Yep.
I did get on learning a couple of things. I got one.
One star.
I kept getting distracted.
Don't know why.
It's probably it's common knowledge for any Giants fan. They're probably born in San Fran. Their first ever win. Well, in fact, I'll let you guess. Actually, you've probably already seen it, but
I haven't actually.
give me a year for the first ever win.
First ever win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for 1911.
What's that? About 20, 30 years out.
Okay.
I mean, I would have if I would. I mean, all sort of franchises were around that time-ish.
Yeah.
Is it
Apart from
18
the ones
something?
that joined 25 years ago or 50 years ago.
Yeah.
1880?
1883.
1883.
Yeah, so yeah,
Win.
close with that one. They were called they were called the New York Gothams.
Okay.
So this is what leads into we've talked about the whole franchise thing,
Franchise, it's
where it just moved from
they can literally relocate.
yeah, which I don't like at all.
A bit like in basketball, there was the Seattle Supersonics, which then became the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Wow.
You know, Seattle, which is in the northwest, I believe, of America,
Mm.
and Oklahoma is virtually in the middle.
Jesus, yeah.
So they just basically up sticks and relocated.
Well, it does seem to be a feature because
It does, yeah.
what's were the Dodgers that were a New York team, or the Yankees were a LA team?
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, that was it.
Dodgers.
So they've gone from New York to other end of the country.
Yeah.
And then San Fran Giants done the same, like New York to California is like, you might as well
Got to
just
think of the fans as well, haven't you? Really?
that's one. It makes me really uncomfortable to think that's happens so frequently in that kind of sport.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not really now, but
I guess when cricket goes to their franchise in a couple of years, the teams aren't allowed to have like any geographical kind of name. So that
is it just their nickname?
So it means that they'll just move around if they need to be, I guess. So yeah, it's crazy.
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like the sound of it, and nor does anybody else.
No.
Even the people that run these things.
It's all money, I guess. Money talks.
And American sports can also just create teams as well. You've got a team in the NHL now, which was started, I think, beginning of this season, called the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
That's right. Yeah.
They just created the team. They actually were given players from other teams. So other teams gave them players,
Jesus.
and they managed to pick. They had a choice of players. They say, right, I want you from so and so team.
It's like a fantasy football.
They had a pick in the draft as well.
The Nationals are the newest in baseball, aren't they? They're not very old.
Yeah, they're not very old.
Have you got a year, Mr. Statman?
Last
In fact, I think
5 years.
when you mentioned Vegas, I'm thinking of there's a football team, soccer team based in Vegas that's formed, I think, last season. Just formed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then Bob Bradley went to manage them in their first season.
Yeah. The funny thing is with the Golden Knights, they are doing fantastically well, and they're actually in the playoffs.
I'm not surprised. I mean, if they've sort of said we want these players,
So the Washington Nationals have been based in Washington since 2005.
Jesus, that's recent.
Established 1969. So I guess that was as the Montreal Expos. So they were the Expos till 2004, and then they became the Nationals. Because obviously you don't want too many Canadian teams, do you?
No,
Why would you?
one's enough, please.
I mean, it is for the World Series, isn't it? You don't want too many Canadian sides.
A World Series.
Even though we do know that the best people in the world are Canadian. Yes.
Do you know why it's called the World Series?
It's based after the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know something.
You thought you were drunk.
Well, no, I just thought in case you did know.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an interesting stat.
It is.
Because a lot of people get that wrong, don't they? It's like,
Yeah.
it's the World Series, but an American team always wins it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Not
well,
always a Canadian team.
yeah. It's like the NFL. Why do they call it football when it's hand egg?
Yeah.
It's because the balls are a foot long. Or not now, but the
original.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a foot long.
Okay. Like you get in Subway.
Yes, for £6. Shouts to Subway. Eat fresh or whatever.
Yes.
Well, it's not. No, it's not. Is it? It's
Keep discovering. I believe.
Is that what it is?
Keep discovering.
awful.
Yeah, it's not eat fresh anymore. Keep discovering.
Although KFC, I know they've. I think they've brought Finger Licking Good back.
What was it before?
They've had several since then, haven't they? In between.
Finger licking chicken and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They want it.
Finger Licking Good.
Why would you get rid of your best?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's iconic.
It's like McDonald's getting rid of I'm loving it. It's just
Well, they probably will now.
they probably, but it's iconic.
Yes.
They'll change the logo and everything.
We haven't mentioned Burger King yet.
No, we should though, because I do
Yes.
like a good Burger King.
Yeah. Now with their 6 rasher bacon burger.
Oh,
King Burger or something like that.
6 rasher, Jesus!
Might even be 8.
6
It's
rashers
a
of
lot.
bacon.
But just bacon.
Yeah, there's no burger. It's just bacon.
I mean, like, what else? Is it like what kind of sauce do you get? Is it cheese as well?
I don't know.
That sounds good though.
Yeah. Well,
I think you do, yeah.
somebody doesn't like mayo,
I actually don't like mayonnaise.
Do you not?
No, I don't.
it's the
Don't
devil's
like
work.
mayonnaise.
Now,
Mayonnaise
you're both
and-
wrong, first of
mayonnaise
all.
and sour cream are just.
I understand sour cream, I guess. I don't mind it on some things.
What are we wrong about?
Just
Life.
mayonnaise being a bad life choice. It's a fine.
You're a bad life choice.
It's a fine condiment, and you just need to open your eyes a bit more.
Or our taste buds.
the Mayageddon is upon us.
Okay.
Imminent.
It is. What else have we got? Oh, I've got 2 nice stories. If we're going to wrap it up soon.
Okay.
Okay.
So then, I should have said this with the other charity thing really, but this is a charity event. The Baltimore Orioles playing well this season. On April 26th, for Autism Awareness Day, $5 from every ticket goes to the Autism Speaks charity.
Excellent.
So I mean, we need to pull up sort of stadium capacity,
Okay.
and then you imagine $5 per person.
Yeah.
That's hundreds of thousands, isn't
It's
it?
a
Easily.
lot of
Easily.
Yeah. All for a good cause.
Yeah, good cause. I mean, good on for doing that. We'll keep an eye on that. Second one I want to talk about. I'll kind of keep this an ongoing thing, really. I mean, we mentioned this briefly last week, but her name, Hayley Dawson is the name. She's 8. She was born with Poland syndrome, which causes her to have missing or underdeveloped fingers, in her case on the right hand. So what she did, she went to the UNLV, which I'm guessing is the University of Las Vegas. Maybe. It's definitely Las Vegas. I don't know what the UN stands for. So she went there. I didn't write down the prices, but for an average prosthetic hand, it's something like $30,000. But they've got this 3D printed hand,
Yeah.
which the technology is like over my head.
It's incredible.
So it's a 3D printed flexi hand, which is $5,000. So a fraction of what the standard prosthetic limb would cost. So she got one of those. That was, I think, it was last year. And so she's doing this thing called Journey to 30, which is a hashtag on Twitter. You want to go follow that. Her idea is to throw the first pitch at all 30 MLB stadiums.
Nice.
She is currently on 4. I thought last week was the first one. It turns out it's the first of this season.
Okay.
Funny for the Padres, Petco Park. So that was technically number 4. The previous 3 were those last season, the Washington Nationals, the Orioles, and Game 4 of the World Series, which I believe would have been Houston.
Yeah.
If that was where it was held, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Or the other place.
Is it that though? Is it a neutral? I wonder if it's neutral.
No, they play. Is it whoever wins the the All-Star game gets the home advantage.
think so.
Is that what it is?
So
I think
they
so.
play 3 at one stadium and
4 at the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to double check on that. I'll go out and say it's the Houston ground. So she's done 4 out of 30. So we'll keep that on the chat. We'll keep an eye on that. You can follow her story. Follow the hashtag Journey to 30. Also, it's on the Facebook page. I think it's run by a mum. So all her journey, and I think that inspired a couple of the kids in Vegas. I think in her school year, in a class, and they've also gone to the UNLV and got the printed flexi hand or whatever replacement. So good on her for having that dream.
Absolutely, yeah.
I did catch she put up an itinerary for this season
Okay.
of stadiums she wants to do and sort of dates. That might change though, so I won't sort of throw that in because you never know.
Yeah, subject to change.
But I'll keep an eye on that. If any new one gets added, I'll bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go follow her story, I guess. And that is all I have for you. If you two have anything you
What
want
she
to
wrote.
throw in.
Have we got any funny names?
I have no funny names.
No funny names.
I mean,
Yeah.
we mentioned no Bumgarner.
Yeah.
He seems to be a regular on the show
Yes.
Trumbo.
now. Trumbo, yeah. Mark, is it Mark Trumbo?
Mark Trumbo, that's the one.
If I also want
For the Orioles.
So
Mark Trumbo.
we did kind of mention in the week Albert Pujols.
Pujols,
Yes. If he wasn't such an amazing kind of baseball player, then I'm sure his name would get ribs a lot more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate though, isn't it?
is.
Albert Pujols.
But it doesn't even look like that on paper though, does it?
It's like P-U-J.
Pujols.
Yeah.
Pujols.
Pujols.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically the old Barcelona defender.
Carlos Puyol.
Yeah.
Pujol.
Kind of similar, I guess.
Yeah.
Similar, yeah.
Okay then.
So, right, does that wrap it up? Are we good?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, let's plug the Twitter first of all. Is it the Bullpen or at Bullpen?
We haven't got one yet.
That's right, we haven't.
So we'll rectify that in the week.
Ignore everything I've just said. You can follow our Twitters. I'm at Dringy Pie.
And I'm at Famous Strauss.
Do you want to plug yours?
I'm at T Boltby on Twitter.
The old Twitter there.
The old Twitter.
YouTube, the same at Dringy Pie. You still can't remember your
Password.
passwords.
Well, I never go on there anyway, so it's like it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll have a Twitter page set up at some point.
Yeah.
If you go on, I believe the link is somewhere. Buzzsprout.com/bullpen. You can find all our podcasts, all of two,
All of two.
including last week's. You want to catch up? We'll probably. I mean, we're trying to get them on Spotify at some point. So
Yeah. And maybe some other providers.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Go check it out. It's going to be a weekly thing, I guess.
Yeah. Depending on schedules.
Our work commitments,
Yes.
sporting commitments,
Yeah.
or just how much we've drank
Yeah.
the night before.
I mean, if we've done too much research, then we might as well just not bother.
No, we'll do something else.
Yeah.
Do a podcast about food.
Yes.
So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show, by the way, Tom.
Thank you very much.
You've been a gracious
Thank you for
host.
being here.
I'm a gracious host. Still a gracious
pleasure.
guest.
It's been a pleasure.
And as always, please give us feedback.
Yeah, go listen to this and the previous one. Check out anything you.
And obviously, we want to be as baseball as possible. And if you can tell us that we suck, then
Yeah.
or we're overrated.
Don't do much though, because I don't want you to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Just if
Luckily, I don't have any.
well, you're a cold man.
You'll need a safe space.
Yeah, you will. You're going to get triggered, my friend.
Absolutely triggered.
As the old snowflakes
Yes.
would have you be.
Cool.
Yep, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us.
And
Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Peace out.
Bye bye.
Bye.